everybody. We thought we'd first kind of give our little review of the latest Disney Plus original film, The One and Only Ivan. And this was going to go into theaters, and then it got moved to Disney Plus. What was your overall thoughts about this film?
Well, I honestly had no idea this was even going to be a thing before, like, about a week before it was set to drop on Disney Plus. I had like little to no expectations, and I ended up really enjoying it. I don't think it's going to rewrite the script making wheel, or it's going to be groundbreaking in terms of story, but it's 90 minutes. It's a quick watch. It's a good story. It's funny on occasion. I like all of the actors involved in here. Sam Rockwell, he's great. Bryan Cranston, my man Bryan Cranston. Shaka Khan is in here. I'm a big fan of her music. Ron Funches is in here. He's a really funny comedian. Helen Mirren, Danny DeVito. It was a surprisingly stacked cast, and just the movie itself, I was like, wow, this is actually really good. This reminded me a lot of the movies Disney used to make. Either they would send them like straight to VHS or DVD, or they would be like the ones in the middle. You know, sometimes they would release like a big Disney Animated Studios release and then a Pixar one, maybe in the same year or maybe like in different years. And then this would be kind of like the white cream in the Oreo, if you will. My analogy got away from me, but I'm sure you all can figure that out. To make a long story short, I did enjoy this movie. Like I said, it's not going to reinvent the wheel in terms of story, but I found myself saying to myself, that was far better than I ever thought it could be.
Yeah, so I agree with you about these Disney live action films, because for a while there, all we were getting was the remakes, and we weren't getting these kind of smaller films. And so I think that's something that Disney Plus can really give us, which makes me very excited because I love these type of live action films. And I think that this definitely has moments where it feels in the spirit of something like the remake of Mighty Joe Young, which we've talked about on this podcast, that I think is very underrated and I really enjoy. It's about this gorilla that is performing at this circus that's in a mall, which is really strange, but it's true. And this actually happened. And he ends up learning to paint. And there ends up becoming sort of this this outcry to kind of to let him have more space than in this mall. So yeah, I think it was a very sweet film. I enjoyed it. I would recommend it. I think people should give it a watch. I think that there's a couple things that hold it back from being like one of the greats. If you're talking like a Paddington, a Babe, on that kind of level. I think that I wish that we got to know Bryan Cranston's character better. There were times when I thought, oh, is he becoming a villain? And then he wouldn't. But we didn't really get to know his motivations, because he could be kind of rude and a jerk, and he didn't.
It's implied, and I actually was going to bring this up. There's I can't remember the character's name. He's the guy who is, I don't want to call him the janitor, but
yeah, he's pretty mean to him.
He has the daughter, and the two have like a weird relationship, like an antagonistic relationship.
Yeah.
And I was like, where is this going? And then it's like a big-lipped alligator moment. It's like it's introduced and then never seen again. And then another one that was at least blatant to me was Ivan goes on this tangent about Mac having a wife and how Ivan was essentially their child. It's a little weird, but essentially Ivan caused her to run away, and we never hear from her or see her again. So it's implied that they may have separated, but it's like we hear it and then we never see it again. At least that's what I got.
Yeah, right. And so I think, as opposed to something like the family in Paddington, which is so endearing, and that relationship feels really true, or Farmer Hoggett in Babe. I mean, and that's a high tier. Those are two of the best family films ever made, and if you ask me. So the relationship between Babe and Farmer Hoggett is so lovely and wonderful, and I don't think that this is even, it doesn't have any like that emotional heft of that kind of relationship that I think would have made it like even better. But especially towards the end, once he starts painting and once that plot kind of goes, I think that's when it starts to work more than maybe some of the other stuff. And once that side of it, and you see his painting, and the fact that it's based on a true story is pretty cool.
Oh, really? It is. I had no idea.
Oh, you didn't watch that in the credits?
Oh no, I must have.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
watch a ton of credits, so
Yeah.
I clearly missed that.
Well, and then
But
Disney Plus, they're like skip the credits, and so, but yeah. Anyway, it's based on a true, I'm sure, heavily dramatized or whatever. But at the end, they show the real Ivan and the real place where uh, he was. He performed, and they said that he never left the confine. He never had fresh air for almost 30 years, which
wow.
is yeah. And then he went to a zoo in Atlanta, I guess, after that, and he had much more space. And anyway, so that makes it really interesting. And so yeah, I think it's definitely worth a watch. I agree with you. It's not a classic. It's not going to change your life, but it's sweet, and I think your kids will like it. And the animals are cute, and so I would check it out. And make sure you sign up for the film fest guy, the movies film festival. It's going to be really cool. You definitely want to sign up and attend as many panels as you can. So please check that out. And so Ryan, where can people find you?
They can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd at RyanCam20. And of course, there's my channel, RyanCam Movie Reviews, with Tenet finally coming to theaters. I'll be finishing Nolan month. That means reviews for Inception, Dark Knight Rises, Interstellar, and Dunkirk. It's going to be a lot of
Oh,
Nolan heavy content coming out this week. And I've also got the AFI project going full steam ahead. Today is Monday, which means my episode for The Bridge on the River Kwai dropped this afternoon. And after that, I've got episodes coming up for The Best Years of Our Lives from director William Wyler. And let's see, I've also got ones for The Treasure of the Sierra Madre from John
I
Huston,
love that.
and Doctor Strangelove, and I won't say the rest of that title, from Stanley Kubrick, and of course, The Sound of Music, starring Julia Andrews, one of my all-time favorites, directed by Robert Wise. So now's as good a time as any to go ahead and subscribe.
Yeah, that's some good stuff you got going on there. That's great. So yeah, and make sure you subscribe to Rachel's Reviews. You can find me all over social media and on iTunes, YouTube, and Rotten Tomatoes. And if you're listening on iTunes, please leave us your ratings and reviews. That means so much. We had a review this week, and I was so excited. So thank you so much. And if you are watching on YouTube, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. We appreciate that so much. We have the Patreon group like we talked about. Check that out. It's really fun. I also have Hallmarkies podcast. We had this week my interview with author Debbie Maycomber. So that was awesome. She's a best-selling author. So check that out over there. And then also check out our merch store, which has lots of fun stuff too, including hidden gems designs you can get on whatever you want, t-shirts or whatever. So enjoy that. And thanks again, everybody. And we'll talk to you all next week. Bye, everyone.
Bye.